First, let's check out the master channel. Here we have a EQ. I will put it on mid side, and I will high pass the sides because I don't need the low end information from the stereo fighting with the kick in the bass, and the rest is just a limiter and a spectrum analyzer. Okay, I will now choose a kick from my sound bank. That's the one. Just drag it over on the MIDI channel and it will automatically become a simpler. Now I'm just going to draw in a simple 4 on the floor pattern. Bringing the level up. Now for some compression. As a starting point, I always bring the threshold all the way down and the ratio all the way up. This sounds a bit too much, but I will ease up on the compressor afterwards. I'm adjusting the attack so it lets the initial transient go through, but then it clamps down on the rest of the kick. As I said, these are radical settings. I'm going to bring some of the dry signal in, and I will ease up on the threshold. Some A and B checking. This compressor doesn't have a lot of control to it, but I like what it does to my kicks. And now for the bass line, I'm going to use Dune. I'm going to switch to the initial patch and draw in some notes. I'm bringing down the velocity on the first one, so it doesn't interfere too much with the kick. And now it's time for some patch tweaking. I will connect the constant to the oscillator 1 phase so I can adjust the phase of the oscillator. Now for some gentle saturation, which will give us some more headroom. I will drop in a EQ. I will bump up 51 Hz because that's the key of G and our bass line is in the key of G. Now I will carve out some of the mid frequencies from the bass line. I will low pass the bass line. Now some more EQing. I will high pass the bass line this time, but I will try to keep the original sound unchanged, so I'm going to use a lower slope of 6 dBs. I will cut out some more mid frequencies. Again, some A and B checking, just to see if I'm actually improving the sound. This compressor isn't recovering very well due to the 16th bassline, so I will use only one note so it has a chance to recover. Again, the same principle, max out the threshold and ratio, and then back off when I get the right attack and release settings. Since this bass line is going to be a one note bass line, I'm going to render the note and I'm going to use it in a simpler. I will trim the note to a 16th so I don't have to worry about it later. So it never actually overlaps with the start of the kick. And we can make a nice little fade out. I will now consolidate it and it will make a new wave file containing the fade outs and fade ins. I will drag the sample over an empty MIDI channel and it will automatically make a simpler for me. And now we just draw in a bassline pattern. And that's it. Now we have a stable bassline no matter what. It's a sample and it won't change. But we will keep the VST just in case we want to change something. I will now group these channels I will select all the channels and right click group tracks or Command G. I will rename the group to kick and bass. And that's it for the kick and bass part of the tutorial.